Hello, in this project we try to make a clone of the American Police Department's website, and I will try to show how we can make this website more reliable and what precautions we need to take so that our website is more secure. First, I wanted to show the technologies we used. We used Java language and Spring Boot framework to write web services, and Apache CXF website runtime was used to create a SOAP web services. MySQL database management system was used to keep the data, and React framework was used for the front end. And lastly, Spring Security and JSON Web Token were used to create an access token and put it in the header from the front end side. And in the architecture, a two-layered architecture was created here. First, the user sends a request to the REST service with his or her username and password, and if it's correct, an access token is returned from the REST web service, and after that they can access other requests with this access token by putting on the header, and all web services are connected to database, and the data is retrieved and returned to the user via REST web services. And um, also I would like to talk a little bit about JSON Web Token. JSON Web Token is structure is divided into three parts: header, payload, signature, and is separated from the each other by using the dot, and will follow the structure. And the header contains two parts: the signing algorithm being used and the type of token, which is the in this case mostly JSON Web Token JWT. And payload, the payload usually contains the claims, user attributes, and additional data like issuer, expiration time, and other things. And the signature, this is typically a hash of the header and the payload sections of the JSON Web Token. The algorithm which is used to create the signature is the same algorithm mentioned in the header section of the JSON Web Token. And the header and the payload section of the JSON Web Token is always base 64 encoded. And WSDL in SOAP is standardized XML language that defines the interface for web services. It outlines how to communicate using SOAP, which operations are available, and what input-output they require. WSDL stands for Web Services Description Language, and uh, only the clients who has this WSDL file can communicate with these web services. And the website we designed brings data according to various users. That is, role-based authentication is defined. Here we created three types of users in the database, and in the security system created. The roles are checked, and which data should be returned is decided at the security layer, while the admin user can access the entire database and all the states in the United States. The state officer user can only view the wanted people in the defined state and all states in these states. And state officer only can see the data in the state in which they are defined. Uh, And we will also try to show that if the classes used in Java Web Services are not taken into account by the software developer, they may become vulnerable to attacks such as SQL injection. We have two classes in JDBC API. One is statement and the other is prepared statement. If we are sending parameters, we need to use the prepare statement. If we accidentally use the statement class and create a SQL query by concatenating the strings, our system will be vulnerable to attack. For the showing purposes, two endpoints have been created here, and I will show you how SQL works by sending requests to both of them. Now we can switch to the demo. Um, Now I will demonstrate the website application. Here we are first greeted by a login page. Here the system warns us when we enter our username and password incorrectly. So it warns us via the stating that incorrect username or password. And now I will use the correct credentials from the admin user. And as we can see, the wanted people from every state and every state. And if we click on any wanted person, we return of his birthday, the city he is in, his current location, and the latitude longitude values that we added to database, and display the uh, latitude longitude via the Google Map API on the React side, front end side. And now I will log into state officer user. Now I logged into our state officer user who can see the wanted people in the state of the Missouri. So it will show the states from Missouri, Kansas City, Kansas City, and St. Louis. Then I will move on to the state officer user. And finally, I logged into the account of the state officer user of the state of Kansas and show that he can only see the states, Kansas City, all the wanted people from the Kansas City. And here the search part calls one of the REST web services. So when I call the Emma, it shows the name of Emma, and Michael, it shows the Michael ones. And however, I have also created a web service that can perform SQL injection and uses the statement class. And I will turn on the visibility of its search bar and show its usage. This search bar was calling the wanted people. So I will turn on the visibility of other uh, search bar. It calls the other REST web service, which is the injected people. So in the network, we can see when we click this button, it calls the injected wanted people, which underneath it uses the statements class. And I will use this SQL queries commenting actually. This is after the statement, the query after this one will be commented. So it will be SQL injected and it will show all the data in the database. So in the state officer user, I can see all the data. And we brought all the data that we shouldn't have access to. So that's an SQL injection of example of SQL injection. And that's all I have to say. And thank you for listening to me.